Ever since high school, it's been blasted into my brain like a mega buster. Always be fair, always be objective, and that's what we strive for here at CGR Undertow. But I gotta tell you, it's really hard for us to be objective about Mega Man. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we love Mega Man. We spend hours just pretending to shoot each other with pretend arm cannons. We play with Mega Man toys during work hours. We even hand-pick the series for immortalization via our highly classy office decor. We're all about the Blue Bomber. But this is not the Blue Bomber. This is X, a highly advanced successor to the Mega Man we grew up with in the original series. You see, X zigs where Mega Man zagged. His eyebrows are locked in a perpetually pissed-off glare. His fist is clenched tighter than Rush the Dog's coil springs. He's a badass counterpoint to our original Blue hero. Fortunately, though, as we found out when we were skeptical little kids, their schematics are virtually identical. X may have a bit of an attitude and a lot more firepower, but when it comes to how he handles, Mega Man X is simply Mega Man with a 16-bit makeover. Although story is generally pointless in the Mega Man series, Mega Man X gives things a nice spin, at least for fans of the original series. 100 years after those epic battles between Mega Man and Dr. Wily, an archaeologist uncovers the ruins of a research lab that was once run by Dr. Light, the legendary robotics scientist and the creator of the Blue Bomber himself. Among these ruins lies a storage capsule in which X lies dormant. Long story short, X is the last hope for a world that's been overrun by maverick robots, robots with the ability to think for themselves, and robots that were, ironically, based on the discovery of X. Its surprisingly cool story aside, what makes Mega Man X so great is its gameplay balance, a masterful blend of traditional Mega Man mechanics and some fresh new ideas. Now, that's an admittedly simple approach, but it resulted in the perfect 16-bit reimagining of Mega Man, not to mention a game that, to some, revived the series. Like the Blue Bomber, X's main weapon is his arm cannon, the X-Buster. And like those original games, Mega Man X is all about running and gunning. This is an action platformer in the truest sense, but X also has a few tricks up his armor. He can jump off walls, he can dash forward, his weapons are extremely powerful. X can even operate huge mech suits that are capable of destroying just about anything in their way. Another change for Mega Man X is that, in addition to picking them up from bosses, upgrades are also scattered throughout the levels, so a bit of exploration is required if you want to maximize X's abilities. And given how difficult the game is, you'll probably want to maximize X's abilities. Keeping in the tradition set by its forerunners, Mega Man X is very difficult. Now, the levels do seem shorter and they pace a bit quicker than the original games, and obviously it's more manageable if you beat the bosses in a specific order, but honestly, even that is a brutally challenging endeavor. But you know, that's the way it should be. Mega Man X is a hardcore spin-off to a series that was already about as hardcore as it gets. If you're anything like me, you'll die a lot, but you'll be having way too much fun to care. A masterfully designed game that gave us a whole new bomber to root for, Mega Man X is yet another entry on that long list of Super NES classics. Which means that almost 20 years later, that skeptical 10-year-old Derek stands thoroughly corrected.